Bill Douglas alongside. Johnstone was quite remarkable when you think, as we quite often say, if you're just around the head pin, good things can happen. I think he only missed twice.
Well, he did. He was 20 out of 22, extremely accurate, and that's the key. Get close to the head pin. You've always got a chance to get a strike. But more than that, Mark manages to run strikes. He got locked in, didn't make any mistakes. 3 times he ran 3 in a row, and once he had a 4-bagger. So really accurate.
We've said before, this is relatively inexperienced field of 16, particularly when it comes to bowling here on TSN, and we're seeing it again here in week 3.
BC's Barrie Wright is the number 2 seed. He averaged .294 to win the region. His favorite bowling memory is coaching Special Olympic athletes. Len Anseth of Saskatchewan was a Pins Game runner-up in '98 and has a Masters singles gold, 2 silvers, and a bronze in a 21-year career. Steve Mayer of North Bay is a former YBC member and appeared in the 2003 Pins Game. Steve averaged .278 to win the Northern Ontario Regionals. Cory Gallant has competed in 7 national events, but counts YBC Singles Gold and TSN Youth Challenge as highlights in his 24-year career.
We've noticed in the weeks of both women's and men's play, those bowlers that can make the adjustments quickly seem to have the greatest success.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw it early in a couple of matches, you know, a couple of open frames early, but then find the range, get locked in, and that's the biggest thing. Once you find it, don't lose it because the game's too short.
If you make it by and into the semifinals, well then of course you'll have a chance to play for the big money. And it is very big money. The winner will take home $10,000. It's week 3. It's men's 5-pin play here on TSN. Week 3, men's 5-pin play in our preliminary match to get things going. Barrie Wright, Aldergrove, BC. Len Anseth from Cutknife, Saskatchewan. And Wright, the rookie, off to a very good start with a strike spare. Anseth had the open and followed it up with a spare.
On the middle again.
Oh, yeah, you know what? It's interesting, too, because those of you who've been watching over the past couple of weeks as we got into men's play, we've seen this players who try to overpower things. And then there's Barrie Wright, who just smooths it down there.
Now for him, it's all about accuracy and a little bit of rotation on the ball. When it gets to the pocket, he wants some movement. Ball from Lenny. Right-hand pocket with that backup. Ball skipped by the right corner pin.
Hold on, it doesn't. And manages to get the 15 for Anseth out of Cutknife, Saskatchewan. He's a caretaker for the Living Sky School Division, yeah, Saskatchewan, the land of the living skies.
That's the good shot. Just no time at all on the approach. Picks up the ball, sets his feet, and he's gone. Great reaction, though. That's one he'll keep, and he'll want to remember exactly that shot. You could see that ball move just about 5 or 6 feet in front of the head pin. Broke to the left and missed the head pin. Right over the center arrow and just in front of the head pin. Move. First time in this match, Barrie's missed the middle. 3 out of 4 so far. Wants to be on the inside of this, make the spare.
Very nice. So that's a great start for Barrie Wright. Has a mark in all 4 frames.
And we talked about it. Accuracy. Hit the middle. Get your opportunities. Don't make mistakes. Make the spares when you have a chance. Barrie Wright clean through 4 frames.
You mentioned that Barrie coaches Special Olympians. He and Barrie and his wife Sherry, their son Jeremy is a Special Olympian, and really want to give a hello to all the Special Olympians. Special Olympics has been a charity of choice for TSN since TSN went on the air back in 1984. And they're attended many of the winter games, and bowling is very much a part of Special Olympics.
Huge part. In almost every bowling center that I know of in Alberta, there's a Special Olympics program. More. 12 count, 5th frame for Barrie. Bit of a lead, but Len Anseth now in the 5th frame and working on a strike.
Oh boy, great action off the sidewall to get the right corner.
Very smooth. Watch this ball back up into the left-hand pocket.
Boy, he is fast, and you do wonder sometimes if it affects him. He was a runner-up in the Pins game of '98, won $3,800. His wife Tracy will be familiar to bowling viewers on TSN. She's a 2-time winner of the TSN Pins game as he comes through with the spare. And we also want to congratulate both of them on the birth of daughter Akira, who is just now a couple of months old. Cut Knife, Saskatchewan, northwest of Saskatoon.
Barrie right now, 6th frame. See if he can recover from that head pin in the last one.
Bit of a bad break.
Good ball.
And Barrie's wife Sherry is here, and we welcome her to Calgary.
Left corner. First one of the match for Barrie. Cross lane, let the hook take over. Right on it.
So just the 1 pin difference between the 2 through 5. Anseth leading by 1, and both bowlers have spares up in 6. Barrie bowls out of the Scottsdale lanes, the Surrey Alder lanes, Aldergrove, Willowbrook lanes. And you know, when you say that, you think, okay, well, maybe it's tough to find a home. But in actual fact, that's a good thing, because you want to experience all the lanes and what they have to offer.
Absolutely. 3 different bowling centers, 3 different conditions, probably 3 different atmospheres.
So when you come to a center like this, the Silver Dollar Action Center, and you're less surprised by things, or you're maybe better able to handle the conditions.
You may be more used to making the adjustments as well.
Well, it's not a good 7th for Len Anseth here, because he had the double strike going, the spare, and now he's bound for an open.
Now what you want to guard against is throwing another one through the hole. Get it on the head pin.
Oh my.
Wow. That is a big wide open frame for Len Anseth.
How many times do you ever see a 3 count? Not very often. 144. Wow. And Barrie Wright has the strike up.
Drifted that one off just a little bit left as well. 4 frames now Len's missed the head pin, and all 4 of them have been to the left-hand side. Wow, really changed the angle on that spare attempt. Went wide right, got it into the pocket, but left the right corner pin standing. Big hole now, advantage Barrie Wright. He'll come up in the 8th and the 9th frame. He's got an 11-pin lead, plus the count on the strike in the 7th.
Yeah.
Just a little touch on that right-hand pocket. But it is a hook, so the ball's breaking back towards the pocket. But a lot of deflection. Hit the bowling ball, went almost straight right. Big double. Push that one left. Third miss on the head pin for Barrie. And again, all three of them, he pushed left. Big lead in this match, though.
And that helps too, because he had the 2 strikes up. He keeps the count going. If you're Len Anseth, you would have really liked him to open there in 9, but he doesn't. So really, Anseth has a shot, but he really needs to put something together. It starts right there in 9, the anchor frame.
Has to have 4 in a row here to finish to get to 249. And what it would do would be force Barrie Wright to mark in the 10th frame.
Oh, that'll kill it.
And he knew it. Had to have the strike.
That's it. And so Len Anseth will take home the $250 and a big sigh from Barrie Wright from Aldergrove, because he knows he will move on. Anseth 219, which is well below his league average of 255. And again, we point out this is so different than league or tournament play. It's one shot, you get one chance at it.
And for Len, just a couple of mistakes, 6, 7, and 8. Missed the head pin all 3 frames, and 2 of them ended up being open frames.
No, come on. Go, 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 go.
Third set of aces now.
In men's play, yeah, and it was pointed out, I think we said there was no women's aces. There was one women's ace I think it was week 3 of women's play.
Well, for Barrie, this is a good place to get a set of aces. The match was already locked up, so no impact really on the final score or him advancing.
275 for Barrie Wright of Aldergrove. As his wife Sherry's smiling, he'll move on. And now wait to see who he plays in the quarterfinals. Barrie Wright here in men's 5-pin play. Our second preliminary, week 3 of men's 5-pin play. Steve Meyer, North Bay. Cory Gallant from Stratford PEI. And wow, look at that. Both of them perfect through the first 2 as Meyer bowls here in the 3rd.
Almost palms the ball. You can see him really set it down in the palm of his hand. Gets more finger on it that way because he really turns the ball hard. All 3 of those have crossed over it. on his strikes crossed over, they've actually been in the left-hand pocket.
Oh boy, he hit it full, got the action, and both of them now are perfect 3-3. Gallant from Stratford, PEI, that's just southeast of Charlottetown.
Great start by both players. Different styles, different speed. Cory throwing a backup, very short 3-step approach.
Not too full that time.
Backed up, started to move, and then just sat there right dead on the nose.
Cory, a former winner of the old TSN Youth Challenge back in 1993 when he won a $1,000 scholarship. Now works for Cogsdale Corporation, where he's their project manager. He's a former national youth champion back in '93. So YBC turning out another terrific bowler.
Absolutely. 7 times he's appeared in C5 Nationals in team events, so lots of experience in big time matches. For Steve, this is really his second big adventure into adult competition.
It's a bad break.
Well, again, when you're throwing a hook, the ball's crossing over like that, there's all kinds of dangers. For my money, if I'm throwing a hook, I'd rather be in the right-hand pocket. This one, he catches it a little bit thick, and the 3-pin just rolls over in the channel. Ouch. Missed that by the 3-pin.
Steve was on the pins game back in 2003. Lost in the preliminaries, took home $100. And manages to get the 15. Interesting, isn't it? They both have 3 strikes to start. Now they've both opened up in the 4th. And it's a slight advantage to Steve Mayer.
Yeah, the difference is he got a corner pin, so he gets the better count on his strikes. 17 pins separating the 2 after 4 complete frames. Right on the nose. Looked like he tried to make an adjustment, get it back to the right-hand pocket, just didn't get it far enough right. Very quick feet. And when you get quick feet, that can have a big effect on your timing, because if you don't match arm speed to foot speed, you can get completely out of whack, and then it changes on how you release the ball, where you release it, and the amount of stuff you get on it.
Is it a sign or something? I mean, is it a nervousness? Where does that come from?
It can be a little adrenaline. You get moving the ball early when you're in your stance position, and then that throws your timing off. Then your feet got to move faster to catch up or slow down.
You saw Steve talking with a buddy of his, Jim McClellan. Maybe a little bit of help there. There's a little bit of coaching as Cory Gallant manages to come back with a strike.
Dead solid. Perfect left-hand pocket. Backs it up. No question. On that one, it was a strike.
Cory bowls out of Murphy's Community Center in Charlottetown.
Crossed over. Another double. Cory showing the ability to run strikes. Started with 3, interrupted by that head pin in the 4th, and now a double and a lead in the match. Eye on the footwork here. Oh, he's stuck partway through that slide before he even got to the foul line. And that'll really throw your timing off. That ball went left very early because of that. That was better footwork, and he got it into the right-hand pocket where he wanted to.
Picks up the spare, but you can see it's still, as you go back, advantage for Mayer through 5, but it's the 2 strikes, or through 4, pardon me. It's Gallant with those 2 strikes in 5 and 6, which are likely to put him ahead.
Better footwork, right-hand pocket.
Not quite as fast.
Well, he's got a really short push away. Now you can see his footwork is quick. That sideways at the foul line is typical of too much speed in your footwork. You've got to put the brakes on, and that's typically what happens as you go sideways.
Looking for a third here, Cory Gallant.
Cory, it's the first miss on the head pin for Cory. Very short first 2 steps, and then a little bit of a slide, but not much. Fairly high backswing and back bend to get him down low to the line.
So it's a 6-pin advantage through 6 for Cory Gallant, but it is Steve Meyer with the advantage in 7, strike up compared to the spare.
Slight advantage with that strike in 7 for Steve Meyer. Ooh. Little thick left-hand pocket. Again, 3-pin just died in the flat gutter on the right beside the corner pin. Never a good time to miss a corner pin, but in the 8th frame of a very tight match, it could mean the difference between winning and losing. And 2 more pins left on the lane. That's 5 altogether for Cory in this match.
So an opportunity here for Steve Meyer out of North Bay, who works for 2 for 1 Pizza. Has a strike up in the 7th.
Making sure the hand's dry. Well, gets the good count. Chop off. Over the 3rd arrow, and that ball really takes off on him. Just gets a piece of the head pin. Right side chop off. I want to fit this in between the 3-pin.
Oh dear.
Right on the nose. Drove it straight back.
So the potential is here with both bowlers having opens in 8, slight advantage to Cory Gallant. There it is, the 15 count for a 2-16. And you can see it's a 4-pin game with 2 to play.
And it's absolutely in Cory's hands to win. He can strike out the 9th and 10th. He can shut out Steve Meyer.
Boy, oh boy. Ball went left and 3 pins went right.
Yeah, that was really a break there. He just catches a piece of the head pin. He'd be pretty happy with that result. And now missing that chop off in the 8th is even more critical for Steve. Great shot.
So they match each other in the 9th with strikes. Remember, it was a 4-pin advantage for Gallant through 8, both with strikes up now. And as you point out, if Gallant can strike out here, there's just not enough pins for Steve Meyer.
First one's crucial. If he gets this, then he forces Steve to do likewise to get the first one in the 10th. Pulled it left.
You almost hear it too. I mean, just wasn't the smooth throw as we've come to expect from him.
Second miss of the match. Still got a possible 280. Strike here, and he'll force Steve Meyer to get the first one in the 10th.
Cory averages a 245 in his league play in Charlottetown. So he's above that here. Oh, good action on the right-hand side as he bowls a 280.
And that's a big strike in the 10th frame. Cory, or Steve rather, must have the first strike in the 10th frame to win this match.
Steve, out of Partners Bowling and Billiards in North Bay, averages 250 in league play. Needs a strike, and he will not have it. And so Cory Gallant
pulled it left. Again, every one of his misses with that hook 3 times now in this game. He's missed left. Ouch. And then punches it coming back to make things worse.
So Steve Meyer will take home the $250 that goes to the losers of the preliminary, and Cory Gallant will move on. It's a 256 for Steve Meyer of North Bay, while Cory Gallant of Stratford, Prince Edward Island, will now move on and hook up with Barrie Wright of Aldergrove, and one of them will become the 3rd semifinalist, men's 5-pin play, the Canadian Bowling Championships.